the world. She says she's the GOAT. Katie Taylor might have an argument against that, but nonetheless, she's definitely one of the best women fighters in the world. And yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity here for Ema Kozin.
Dimitri Salita, her promoter, can hardly carry all the belts behind Claressa. The team have shone this week, and the princess waits for the queen.
And now, please welcome your WBA, WBC, and IBF World Middleweight Champion, Claressa Shields.
Reception. Once in a while in sport, an athlete develops a standing, an aura, an elevation towards transcending this business. Enter the GOAT, the irrepressible, multi-talented, multi-weight world champion, Claressa Shields. She's made such an impression this week in Cardiff. A magnetism, a sparkling of stardust, and the fans are loving it. It's hard to argue with her that she's got the it factor.
Oh, in abundance, absolutely in abundance. And she had that all week, you could tell. Wherever she went, she lit up the room. Very charismatic, massive self-belief. And as we said earlier, all of us were all really looking forward to seeing her perform here.
Yeah, she's a fantastic fighter. Olympic championships, world championships, middleweight, super middleweight. She's arguably, like you said, arguably the number one in the sport, but she actually believes she is the number one in the sport. She's embraced this reception she's been having from Cardiff. I hope she doesn't expect this up in Newcastle.
Cardiff, the time for action is now. Boxer on Sky Sports Boxing goes 10 rounds to unify 4 world titles for the female middleweight championship of the world. We introduce first in the blue corner, wearing the white shorts, standing 5 feet 8 1/2 inches tall, and weighed in 11 stone 5 pounds 5 ounces. Undefeated at 21 victories, 11 by knockout to a single draw. Hailing from Slovenia, your defending WBF middleweight champion, the Princess Ema Kozin. Now, in the red corner, wearing the red and gold, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, and weighed in 11 stone 5 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 11-0. She is a 3-time weight division champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, and defending WBA, WBC, and IBF world middleweight champion, known in boxing as the greatest women of all time, from Flint, Michigan, United States of America, introducing Claressa Shields. And inside the ring when the action begins, your referee in charge, Victor Lachlan.
Okay, you know the rules. Remember, obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. God bless. Touch them.
The double Olympic gold medalist and the first fighter in the 4-belt era to win undisputed titles in 3 weight classes, returning to the UK for the first time since London 2012. She's lit up the Welsh capital. It's been an absorbing build-up. She swapped the slippers for boxing boots this time. The WBO middleweight champion Savannah Marshall watching on as Claressa Shields defends her 3 belts and the Ring magazine against Ema Kozin, who is unbeaten in 22 fights. She's 23 years of age. Claressa only 26. Amazing to think that. And she's had 11 pro fights. Longer build-up for Shields after the switch to MMA. For Kozin, she's just been laser-focused on this mission. But is this mission impossible?
Well, she's straight down to business here, Kozin, trying to land that left hand down the middle, and Claressa trying to find the distance with her jab. Neither girl really landed anything of note as of yet.
First thing you notice how cool and how calm Claressa is. You know, she's seen all different styles in her amateur days. You know, Kozin's doing the right thing. She's coming in. She's trying to make it work. But you can see Claressa's looking for that backhand shot to time her coming in. The problem Kozin has, she's a southpaw, but she's not a normal southpaw. She stands square on. She falls in, she reaches in and leans in, which is going to play into someone as talented as Claressa's hands.
A couple of right hands to the body already from Claressa Shields, and Michaela was saying that that could be the target. She wants the stoppage, and then she wants Savannah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Claressa here throwing lots of feints. She's trying to set traps. She's trying to see what Kozin's going to do. She's really very much a thinking fighter. Nice straight right hand there from her.
The way we look at it now, Kozin's all her weight's on her front foot. She's trying to attack. But if you watch Claressa, she's evenly distributing her weight on both legs so she can move in and out as she pleases. And she's just looking for that body shot on right hooks. And like I said, Kozin's going to be in trouble unless she ups her game.
Claressa Shields, John David Jackson in there, former excellent fighter, and you can just see in that opening round, Claressa Shields has the coolness and the authority. And what Hannah Rankin said when she fought her, you don't know where the shots are coming from, Enzo.
Yeah, he does. And like I said about her legs, the weight is evenly distributed. She can move in and out as please. She can just pull himself out of the range, make you fall short. All top-class fighters can do it. And, you know, you see the styles difference, and she's so calm, she's so cool. Kozin's a bit jerky. She's trying to rush it. You know, it's a big chance, but you can just see Shields what she's doing. She's targeting the body. She's targeting that right hook around the side. You know, it's just different in levels at the moment.
Yeah, that right hook around the side is the shot she's looking for. She's trying to set it up at the minute. She's throwing the right hands down the middle, but you can see the right hook. She tried it in the first round a few times, didn't quite get there, but I think that is the shot that she's going to look to try and take Kozin out with.
What Shields doing, she's poking her left jab out. She's waiting for Kozin to use her lead hand to drop her hand down, and that just leaves herself open for that right hook. Very clever by Shields.
The Olympic rings tattooed on her right arm, Claressa Shields, and the blue in the hair is because of the problems in Flint with the contamination of water, Flint, Michigan, where she endured a really hard childhood. Claressa Shields, she's done brilliantly to fight her way through, and now is fighting for so much in America and around the world. She wants to be a figure like Serena Williams, who she looks up to.
You can just see the gulf in class between the two, with the Olympic pedigree, the years and years of boxing. You know, whether Claressa wants to go on the front foot, whether she goes on the back foot, she's just a little bit too much. I say a little bit too much. She's a very much higher level than Kozin.
You can see the difference in levels already, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there's almost a swagger, isn't there, to Claressa? She's just taking her time, trying to find that opening.
Tough girl, Ema Kozin, but she's going to have to deal with this onslaught from Claressa Shields. So clever. Chris Eubank Jr. Jones Jr., the team that have been working together for a couple of years. Boxing royalty in the house, of course. Roy, one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think we'll forget his fight with you, Enzo. Well, you won't.
I will be honest, like I've always said, if I had caught him in his prime, I would have knocked him out. But I'm 99.9% sure I wouldn't have landed a glove on him. He was that good. He's an amazing fighter.
I love your honesty, Enzo. That's brilliant. He was. There was a period, wasn't there, when he was absolutely untouchable. Can he sprinkle the magic onto Chris Eubank Jr.? Claressa Shields showing plenty of magic herself with those body shots. I think that's why she wants to get the stoppage here, Matt.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she, especially with Savannah Marshall in the house.
Unless that could get tasty afterwards, couldn't it? But Ema Kozin is the challenger and unbeaten. And you never know, stranger things have happened, but she's had 2 rounds where she has hardly got anything off on Claressa Shields, who's been totally dominant, controlling, judging, feinting and delivering.
Yeah, at the moment, Claressa's just doing what she wants. She realised she had a little luck in the first minute of the first round. She realised she's a higher level. She has a big golfing class. You know, she's picking her shots well, whether it goes to the body. Not just them little things to touching with a jab. She's making Kozin react. Everything she does is a reaction, and Shields is going to counter them reactions every time.
And there was a slight question mark about how she'd be after the return from MMA, where she had a win and a defeat.
Right, Docs. And like I said, Kozin's going to be in trouble unless she absolutely game.
Corner of Claressa Shields, John David Jackson in there, former excellent fighter, and you could just see in that opening round, Claressa Shields has the coolness and the authority. And what Hannah Rankin said when she fought her, you don't know where the shots are coming from, Enzo.
Yeah, he does. And like I said about her legs, the weight is evenly distributed. She can move in and out as please. She can just pull himself out of the range, make you fall short. And all top class fighters can do it. And you know, you see the styles difference, and she's so calm, she's so cool. Kozin's a bit jerky. She's trying to rush it. You know, it's a big chance, but you can just see Shields what she's doing. She's targeting the body. She's targeting that right hook around the side. You know, it's just different in levels at the moment.
Yeah, that right hook around the side is the shot she's looking for. She's trying to set it up at the minute. She's throwing the right hands down the middle, but you can see the right hook. She tried it in the first round a few times, didn't quite get there, but I think that is the shot that she's going to look to try and take Kozin out with.
What Shields doing, she's poking her left jab out. She's waiting for Kozin to use her lead hand to drop her hand down, and that just leaves herself open for that right hook. Very clever by Shields.
The Olympic rings tattooed on her right arm, Claressa Shields, and the blue in the hair is because of the problems in Flint with the contamination of water. Flint, Michigan, where she endured a really hard childhood. Claressa Shields, she's done brilliantly to fight her way through, and now is fighting for so much in America and around the world. She wants to be a figure like Serena Williams, who she looks up to.
You can just see the golfing class between the two, with the Olympic pedigree, the years and years of boxing. You know, whether Claressa wants to go on the front foot, whether she goes on the back foot, she's just a little bit too much. I say a little bit too much. She's very much higher level than Kozin.
You can see the difference in levels already, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see there's almost a swagger, isn't there, to Claressa? She's just taking her time, trying to find that opening.
Tough girl, Ema Kozin, but she's going to have to deal with this onslaught from Claressa Shields. So clever. Chris Eubank Jr., Roy Jones Jr., the team that have been working together for a couple of years. Boxing royalty in the house, of course. Roy, one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think we'll forget his fight with you, Enzo. Well, you won't.
I will be honest, like I've always said, if I had caught him in his prime, I would have knocked him out. But like 99.9% sure I wouldn't have landed a glove on him. He was that good. He's an amazing fighter.
I love your honesty, Enzo. That's brilliant. He was. There was a period, wasn't there, when he was absolutely untouchable. Can he sprinkle the magic onto Chris Eubank Jr.? Claressa Shields showing plenty of magic herself with those body shots. I think that's why she wants to get the stoppage here, Matt.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she, especially with Savannah Marshall in the house.
Unless that could get tasty afterwards, couldn't it? But Ema Kozin is the challenger and unbeaten. And you never know, stranger things have happened, but she's had 2 rounds where she has hardly got anything off on Claressa Shields, who's been totally dominant, controlling, judging, feinting and delivering.
Yeah, at the moment, Clarissa's just doing what she wants. She realised she had a little luck in the first minute of the first round. She realised she's a higher level. She has a big golfing class. You know, she's picking her shots well, whether it goes to the body. Not just them little things, just touching with a jab. She's making Kozin react. Everything she does is a reaction, and Shields is going to counter them reactions every time.
And there was a slight question mark about how she'd be after the return from MMA, where she had a win and a defeat. I think she's mixing it all up. She wants to take the world by storm, but it's in the ring where she's at her very best.
Yeah, definitely. You can see here really trying to sink these body shots in, and the straight right hands are working well for her too. Good head movement as well.
Nice body shot again, switching it from side to side, Shields. And the southpaw style that you were alluding to, Enzo, it's a bit flat-footed from Kozin. She looks strong and tough, but limited a little bit.
Yeah, most of the fights I've watched Kozin, she likes to come forward, she likes to put a lot of pressure, but she leans in with the shots. But when you're getting someone as accurate as Claressa, who's hitting you at will, stopping you coming in, offsetting your time and offsetting your balance, it's pretty hard to rush in. But, you know, it's a big chance for her. You know, she's going to try and grab it with both hands, give it as good as she got, but ultimately it's just going to come down to the levels, and at the moment Claressa just looks a massive level above.
And the hand speed there from Shields, utterly dominant. Well, we've seen Junior backstage. Here is Liam Williams with the dragon behind him, the pride of these parts. Family man, angry man at times. Hell of a fighter. And a huge opportunity for him. So much talk about how good Eubank is and how he can go through at 32 the big test. Liam Williams is younger. He didn't quite get it right in that world title challenge to Demetrius Andrade, but, you know, he gave Liam Smith 2 really hard fights, former world champion.
Yeah, he gave Liam 2 hard fights. And people don't remember with Andrade, if he didn't get put down in that first round, if he didn't lose the first couple of rounds, he dragged Andrade into a fight towards the end. You know, I don't think you would have won, because I think Andrade's a higher level of class. He is a class fighter, but without that knockdown, it's a closer fight as well.
Eubank Williams, top of the show tonight, but Claressa Shields very much stealing the show and the build-up this week. Everyone wanted to be around her, and now Ema Kozin has the difficult task as she smiles through the gum shield of trying to implement her tactics and her style. She's had 500 rounds of sparring, and she's only one of 2 females who box in Slovenia, so she's just been in with men.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of rounds of sparring, 500.
Very hard, very tough, and a real success story in her life. But Claressa Shields, what she's done in only 11 professional fights, Enzo, is quite remarkable.
Yeah, like I said, I know 145 wins her 11 opponents have had, so they're all higher level. Christine Hammer, Gabriels, Cruz.
I think she was just hurt there by a right hand, and Claressa Shields just putting the foot down on the pedal. And there are heavy-looking hooks going in. And Ema Kozin, for the first time in the fight, just looks troubled. And here comes Shields. She's as determined as she was winning the Olympic medals to shine every time. Big body shots, and Kozin under all sorts of fire, and there's no respite, Matt.
No, really whipping those body shots in, trying to find that gap beneath the elbow there, digging them in. Yeah, Kozin under a lot of pressure here.
Switching it up, left hook to the body, right hand to the head. Maybe Hannah Rankin's right. Where are the punches coming from? And I wonder what Savannah's thinking just behind us at ringside, watching her up close here as a professional.
I think Savannah's just taking all things. She's picking up points. You know, Savannah boxes a totally different style of Kozin. You know, Claressa's looking good. She seemed to hurt Kozin it, but you can see how much she wanted the stoppage, because she started smothering her shots a little bit. She started falling in that just a little bit more. Just needs to take a little step back and find that angle. Try not to impress Savannah too much, which is what I think she's wanting to do.
And you know what Savannah Marshall does possess is not just a victory over her in the amateurs, which was a long, long time ago, 2012, but power. And she really does have power, Savannah.
Yeah, she does. I know they have a bit of back and forth, and I think Savannah winds Claressa up about her power. Claressa comes back around 4 anyway at all. But I can tell you now, I think Savannah would have stopped Kozin already.
Look at that accuracy. Over 50% success for Claressa Shields. Yeah, bigger puncher, Savannah naturally. But styles make fights, and I, for one, already cannot wait, Matt, for their clash, because it's a humdinger, and it's going to be a top level women's fight on the very highest stage. Could you imagine St James's Park, or even if it's in the O2 or the Manchester Arena, it's going to be a massive happening.
Oh, without a doubt, and the build-up itself would be brilliant. But I got to agree with Enzo. I think Savannah Marshall would have had Kozin out of here by now. I know styles make fights and everything, but Savannah's a big puncher and more precise. I think she would have had Kozin out of here by now.
I think Savannah's a natural puncher. She's a natural finisher. I don't think Claressa is. I think Claressa is a textbook brilliant boxer. You know, she moves well, she makes people fall in, she makes you think, she sets up traps, she's constantly setting up traps. But Savannah is a finisher, and I just believe that the way Kozin stands square on, the way she drops her hands, I think
Claressa Shields could be a finisher here. There's a volley of punches, and Ema Kozin has to hold on, get out of Claressa's own red corner. And Victor Laughlin having a good look at this. He's such an experienced referee, and he's not going to want Ema Kozin just to get battered round after round, and this is an acceleration from Shields.
No, you can see this. She wants that stoppage. She's going for it.
What I mean by a natural finisher, Adam, see, Claressa hurt her. She got on the rope. She's just throwing punches. That's all she's doing. She's letting the ref step in. Savannah would have had a look. She would have picked a shot, picked an opportunity. That's what I mean by a natural finisher.
Shields turns southpaw now, and Kozin digs in. 15 seconds to survive halfway, and it has been a really hard ask for the brave Slovenian, the 23-year-old who's never been in anything like this before. Total one-way traffic and a really dejected look as Ema goes back to her father figure in the corner, Rudolf Pavlin.
Yeah, I agree with Enzo. I think at times there, Clarissa's just smothering herself and rushing it by throwing too many punches. I think if she just settled down a little bit and maybe sunk the body shots in and look for more power, more precision, rather than throwing so many, she'd have more chance of getting the stoppage.
You can see Claressa's throwing a lot of straight punches. The hands are coming up. She should have thrown a double jab, whipped it around the side of the body. Just a couple of feint shots, couple of set-up shots, go underneath. Perfect example where Savannah would have had out of her. But like you said, it's a great clash of styles. You know, the fight isn't over yet, but it's looking like one-way traffic at the moment.
Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall. This is where we've come, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, you know, women's boxing over the last couple of years, you know, has come to the forefront. You know, we're starting to describe fights as not women's fights, good women's fights. We're starting to describe them as good fights. You know, it all started. It started a while ago, but we had Bridges, Courtney, you had Jonas Harper, Jonas Taylor. You know, fights that were established in their own right, not women's fights, but good fights.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And Tasha Jonas, 2 weeks tonight, goes for that elusive world title, and she's got to climb up the weights as well to do it on the big Khan Brook show in Manchester. Fraser Clark also turning professional. Exciting times.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot wait.
Shields in control here, total control. Boxing beautifully. Ema Kozin surviving.
Yeah, she's surviving, and you know, like I said, there's Claressa's inability as a finisher. She's a brilliant boxer. She's really got a good body shot there coming in. She is a great boxer. She picks her shots well.
Oh, another body shot as well, and these are raining in. And then when she was trying to protect that one, comes up to the head as well. That's how good Claressa Shields is. She may not have the power of Marshall, but she's certainly got a variety of skills.
She's unbelievable variety of skills. But if you look at her, she's picking her shots. That's what she needs to do, pick her shots, pick the body shots, pick the head shots, change the levels. And she knows that. It's when she rushes in, when she over smothers her work, that's where she can't get the shots off.
Yeah, that was much better a few moments ago when she was picking the body shot. She was taking the time, finding the gaps instead of smothering her work.
You see the effect the punches are having when she's having that little bit of time, that little bit of space.
Clumping right hands, and goes in back into her own corner. 6 painful sessions for Ema Kozin to have to get through. And there is Savannah Marshall and April Hunter. I think that's a little note to you two to say, yeah, you're right, I would have had Ema Kozin out by now, and what's she doing? She's waiting.
100% she would have, you know, she's watching this. She knows the challenge she's up against with Claressa Shields. Claressa's got that boxing ability. Savannah's got boxing ability as well, but Savannah's got that.
Savannah had the boxing ability to beat Claressa Shields in the amateurs, and exactly right in 77.
Exactly right, but she got that added power now. She's a good finisher as well. And Claressa, for all her talents, the one thing she is lacking is that natural finishing instinct.
Got 2 knockouts on the Claressa Shields slate, 11 perfect fights since turning professionally, like middleweight and super middleweight division conquered. She's happy here at 11 stone 6.
We've got to say as well, those 2 knockouts, even though I say she's not a natural finisher, those two knockouts in all her fights, she boxed them high level. Gabriel's, Christina Hammer, Alda, Cruz, she fought some good quality fighters.
Yeah, that might be the difference as well with Savannah Marshall's record.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to take that into account when you're weighing these things up. But I do think at times she rushes her work when she has her opponent hurt, where Savannah takes that little bit more time, gives the feint, sits down on the shots and finds the gaps.
As a finisher that I was myself, you know, I could see that gap, I could see that distance you need, that space you need. Very rarely I smother my shots, and that just comes from a natural finish, like all natural finishers do. Claressa, as good as she is, that's the one thing she needs to work on, that little bit of space when she gets someone hurt.
He was some natural finisher, wasn't he, the man to my right?
Most of the time I was just shut my eyes and swing, I just kept getting lucky.
Some power Enzo Macronelli had.
I was going to say finisher, he usually just did it with 1 punch.
Just a slight slowing of the pace in the 7th round. I think Claressa Shields has been absolutely desperate for the stoppage win, and Ema Kozin hanging in and valiantly, and look at her bravely coming back as well. So tough, so stubborn. The Shields just keeps the pressure on. It's going to be one of those that Victor Loughlin will either wave off or not.
The problem got is it doesn't look like Cozin's in any trouble. She's getting caught with a lot of shots, she's blocking a lot, but she doesn't.
It's actually a facile defense of her WBC, IBF and WBA middleweight titles, winning every round and every minute, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. She's way on top here, and I don't think she really hurt Kozin that many times. You know, a couple of times she had her in trouble. Thought maybe she could force the stoppage, but other than that, you got to credit Kozin as well. Though she's tough and durable, and she's when she's been on, when you thought that maybe it was on the verge of that, she'd come firing back. So didn't really give Victor Lachlan any reason to jump in and stop the fight. She's always looked, you know, pretty okay.
She's got 11 knockouts on her record, Ema Kozin, in her 21 wins, but all at a very much lower level than anybody Claressa Shields has even been in with. So always going to be a mighty tough ask, but I think just to go the distance with the quote will be a major achievement for Ema Kozin.
Like we said, the lack of Claressa's knockouts on her record come from fighting a higher level opponents. If you look at Kozin's record, yeah, she's knocking people out, but if you look at their records, they've been knocked out numerous times before. It's a little bit deceiving, but she does look strong. She does look strong. She's still game. It's just the level is just a bit too much. When Claressa's like this is where she could get the knockout, just giving herself a little bit of space. But as soon as she hurts her, she seems to fall in. I think it's going to boil down because she's trying to impress too much.
Just relax a little bit more at this stage, being in total control.
That's all it is. She gets up against the ropes, she finds a little bit of space, and I think she just closes that gap a bit too much. Can't get maximum power into her shots, but it'll come. She's still only had 11 fights. I know she's one of the best, but she's still only had 11 fights. So maybe that's something else to work on. That's just a little bit of space, a little bit of timing, and that split second, the look where the punch is going to land rather than just throwing.
Yeah, just trying to force it, the stoppage a little bit at times, isn't she?
Yeah, and maybe it's coming down to because Savannah's ringside. She's trying to show off, trying to impress Savannah, because Savannah's always giving her a bit of grief over that lack of power.
It's all bubbling nicely, isn't it? These 50-50 fights, the arch rivals. We've got Eubank Williams to come tonight, Brook in a couple of weeks, Taylor Cattrall. This will be another great occasion. Marshall and Shields. Not long to go. Coming up next, the big one, Chris Eubank Jr. against Liam Williams, the domestic jewel that everybody's been anticipating, waiting for. And finally, we have it on and delivered here in Wales. Couple of rounds to go. The red and gold of Claressa Shields with the blue in her hair for Flint, Michigan, and the black and gold boots. No slippers on. Could she have won in slippers tonight?
I'm not so sure.
I think she could have, to be honest. You know, her balance is so good. She doesn't bounce around the ring a lot. Her balance is well. Her feet work. Her weight is evenly distributed on her legs. So she moves well. So in slippers or boots, she can do the same.
If you're just tuning in now and you haven't seen the workouts this week, etc., it was incredible. Claressa Shields in the most enormous red slippers, not just in the workouts, but she's been strolling around in Cardiff in them as well.
Well, it definitely go with the rest of her kit anyway.
Ema Kozin looking to see it out, and she's got 3 minutes of action to try and do that, as Claressa just continues to tee off on the brave Kozin. I told you she was tough, all the sparring with the men, 500 rounds, and they have got her into absolute peak physical condition. She just doesn't have the class anywhere near that Shields possesses.
Yeah, Claressa just drilling her with a lead, straight right hand there, snapping the head back.
You see the arrogance of Claressa. She's walking in with her hands down. She's popping little lead left hooks. She's basically just doing what she wants. You know, it's been great to see her up close and see why she's so highly regarded. The way her balance is, the way her head movement is, the way she picks her shots when she actually gives herself a little bit of time.
Matt and I were at her debut back in 2016 on the Kovalev Ward fight in Vegas against Franchon Cruz-Desem, and that was a wild affair. And her opponent's gone on to become a world champion. She's always answered the questions. Can she answer the Savannah Marshall power? Or is Marshall just that one opponent that Clarissa's not going to get past?
It's very intriguing, Adam. You know, like you said, it's going to be a big clash of styles. I'm assuming if it comes off, and obviously Marshall's got to win her next fight as well for it to happen. You see Savannah there, she's confident. She's got a great trainer in Peter Fury as well. You know, she's confident. But how does Clarissa's been embraced here in Cardiff? She's been embraced. She's not going to get that if the fight's in Newcastle. She's going to get booze. She's going to get, well, I can't really say, but it certainly won't be the atmosphere she's receiving here tonight or this week either.
No, Savannah, darling of the Northeast, and she will defend her WBO title against Femke Hermans in a few weeks' time. And they touch gloves. Claressa Shields, with respect for all the women fighters, she talks very openly about how great they've been, the Katie Taylors, the Amanda Serranos, her good friend Michaela Meyer here working with us, and she just wants to leave that legacy and then go on to different things.
Sorry, Adam, we were talking about great fights earlier. I forgot Michaela Hamadouche. What a fight that was.
It was unbelievable, wasn't it? And Michaela was saying actually in commentary earlier that if she'd had 3-minute rounds, she'd have had more knockouts, and maybe that would have been true with Claressa as well.
Yeah, you know, a lot of unnatural finishers. So I'll go back to that. A lot of them wear opponents down, they wear them down, and then they break them down. And that will come over the 3-minute rounds. Over the 2 minutes is more high-paced, doesn't give you a lot of time to get your work going.
Enormous respect to Ema Kozin here. As the clock ticks down, the 23-year-old princess from Slovenia. We talked about her troubles and her difficulties in growing up and where she is today, and it's a fabulous tale as she studies for her mathematical degree and competes even for her world title till it just happens to come against Claressa Shields, and she hasn't laid a glove on her.
Yeah, and you know, she's only 23 years old, so she's going to learn from this, and she can definitely come again.
Definitely. And she'll go back with her head held high. She'll have gone the distance with Claressa Shields, who I'm sure wanted the stoppage. She's going to have to settle for the points win. 12 professional victories, an emphatic defense of her 3 world title belts. Will she get the 4th, property of Savannah Marshall, or will Savannah clean up and become the undisputed champion later in the year? We wait, not for the decision, which we know, Enzo, is going to be fully in favor of Claressa, but the aftermath, because Savannah sits patiently at ringside. I'm sure they'll be together soon.
Yes, I don't know whether it's going to be inside the ring, outside the ring, but I'm sure Savannah's going to try and confront her and, you know, speak a bit of truth to her, and, you know, Claressa's not going to hold them out. So to be honest, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm looking forward to the little talk after as well. For me, though, I think Claressa's going to be unhappy with that performance. I think she really wanted a stoppage. I think she tried a little bit too hard at times.
It's standards, isn't it, Enzo? I mean, you know, she was absolutely dazzling skill-wise from start to finish, but there's all that pressure and expectation that, you know, you're going to go on and do whatever you want in a ring. Ema Kozin toughed it out, and yeah, you might be right. She might have tried a bit too hard for that stoppage, but it was a good performance. It was a really good performance.
Brilliant performance, you know. It was, for me, to see her up close, the way she moves her feet, the way she moves her head, the way she sets her traps, the way she feints. You know, it was great to see someone who loves his boxer. But yes, I think she wanted to impress a little bit too much.
Sometimes with great fighters, it's just really a privilege, isn't it, to be so close at ringside. We remember when Vasily Lomachenko came over, and Luke Campbell was so good that night, but Lomachenko just a step in front, and you see things, don't you? The clever, clever fighters.
This championship action goes the distance, and we go to our judges for the decision. All three judges, Mark Lyson, Phil Edwards, and Terry O'Connor, see about the same, 100 to 90, 100 to 90, 100 to 90. Declaring your winner by unanimous decision, your WBC, WBA, and IBF female middleweight champion of the world, the greatest woman of all time, Claressa.
Claressa Shields retains her WBC, IBF and WBA middleweight crowns. Respect for the very brave but totally outclassed Ema Kozin. And it's Shields against Savannah Marshall. That's what we're going to look forward to. Savannah's here. Stay with us for the aftermath.